Welcome, everyone, to another wonderful session of Cells of Consciousness, where we focus on embodied consciousness rather than conceptual consciousness, where illusion of separation is dissolved. And you recognize that you are an expression of a single awareness where all things arise. One source of consciousness coming from light and vibration interaction. So here's the truth, folks. Everything changes when you stop pretending who you are or what you are. When you recognize that you are part of the universe and the universe is part of you, you will experience unity of mind and nature. You are changing, unfolding, moment by moment in relation to your environment. By the end of this video, you will not be the same person because you are constantly changing every moment. Also, you will recognize the power and freedom within you. And by breaking the chain and not get caught in the drama of feeling exhausted, drained, or lost in playing some role. We are the universe. We were built for evolution, for change. Our nervous system, our senses, we no longer have that narrow tunnel vision of self-life. We have evolved, we have expanded, having a broad view of everything. So in essence, our reality has changed to a different one that is more aligned to our vibration. Everyone has the birthright to live their true individuality with potentiality. How can we change your present consciousness, your present state of being? So taking the immediate past and the anticipated near future, bringing those two together, which can profoundly influence our daily life by shifting one's core perspective from being a passive product of circumstances to an active participant in creating them. This shift in mindset empowers individuals to take responsibility for their mental and emotional states, which in turn reshapes their experiences. Pretty soon, you change the collective consciousness of the next generation. Right here and now, we start by cultivating personal responsibility. So we start there. Acknowledge your creative power. By viewing the universe as a mental creation, you understand that your thoughts are not random but powerful creative tools. This gives you greater ownership of your actions and emotional reactions. Instead of blaming external factors, you focus on your internal state, recognizing that you have the power to change your reality by changing your mind. 2. Confront fear and anxiety. When you understand that negative emotions are also mental projections, you can approach them differently. Instead of letting anxiety dictate your actions, you can see it as a thought pattern to be observed and released. Watch your thoughts. The good thoughts stay and the bad ones go. So you say good stay and bad go. Over time, you can quiet these mental states rather than being controlled by them. Just observe those thoughts and say, aha, I see you, but you're not good for me, so go. The third thing is developing conscious intention by practice. So we want to practice intentional visualization. Everything first originates in the mental realm, right? So you can use this in your advantage by consciously visualizing the positive outcomes you desire. Spending time each day vividly imagining your goals as already achieved can program your mind to work toward that reality. Fourth, use affirmations to change your mental programming. Negative and limiting thoughts are often subconscious habits. By consistently repeating positive affirmations, you can actively reprogram your mind. For example, replacing I can't do this with I am capable and creative, which helps to reshape your internal landscape to align with your desired reality. Making better decisions. 6, shift from reactive to reflective thinking. Neuroscience shows that about 95% of our daily decisions are made by the subconscious mind. Understanding mentalism helps you become more aware of these unconscious patterns. By slowing down and reflecting, you can bring subconscious biases to the surface and make more conscious, intentional choices that align with your true goals. You don't get what you want in life, but you get what you are when you're ready to receive it. 7. Utilize intuition and higher guidance. We have all faculties because your individual mind is connected to the universal mind. Everything's connected. It is possible to access a deeper well of intuition. Techniques like meditation can help you quiet the conscious mind and receive guidance from the universal source of wisdom. I use these metaphysical laws as a guide, so you can also use them too. Not getting caught in the drama and mechanical life like a machine. Same thing over and over again. Order, one of the metaphysical laws in the universe, it refers to the systematic and structured nature of the universe. As above, so below. This connection is best demonstrated through the principle of correspondence, the orderly patterns of the cosmos. This consistent repeating order across different scales of existence is a direct consequence of everything being a mental creation of a single universal mind. Unity is the second one of the metaphysical laws. Emphasizes that all things are interconnected and part of a single whole. Shared consciousness, mentalism, explains that our individual minds are splinters of the one mind, like branches of a tree. This means that every consciousness is interconnected through the universal mind, providing a non-physical bias for our shared existence and experiences. Can be the unity. This unity is why our conscious experiences are not a collection of separate pieces. So the unity of consciousness is a natural feature of a universe that exists within one all-encompassing mind. The third one is harmony. So we had order, unity, now harmony is the third one on the metaphysical laws. It describes the state of balance and agreement among different parts the universe or system have. Then we have balance, which is the equilibrium between opposing forces. Everything in life has a balance. There's a balance in everything we do. Intelligence is the next one. So we had order, unity, harmony, balance. Intelligence refers to the underlying consciousness or awareness of the universe. Consciousness over matter. Mentalism prioritizes consciousness over matter and energy, asserting that the spirit precedes the physical form. This means that the universal mind is the intelligent, living force behind all occurrences, happenings, the divine play, access to the divine wisdom. So we had consciousness over matter, now we have access to the divine wisdom. As individuals, the connection to this universal intelligence is our birthright. By recognizing that we originate from the same spiritual energy, we can access divine wisdom and tap into our inner guidance system rather than relying on external authorities for direction. This access empowers us to create our own reality and make informed choices. This is access to divine wisdom from the intelligence metaphysical law. We had order, unity, harmony, balance, intelligence. Now evolving. You have to evolve, grow. It describes the process of continuous growth, continuous change, and transformation. Personal growth is the conscious mastery of your own mind. By actively managing your inner world, you can manifest your desired reality. You must identify and replace the unconscious beliefs that are running your life. As you master your mental processes, you can deepen your connection to the larger universal consciousness. Let's do this. Identify limiting beliefs. Journaling is a powerful tool to uncover your habitual thought patterns, especially those related to stress, fear, or self-doubt. Ask yourself why you haven't yet achieved certain goals. Challenge your negative thoughts. Once a negative thought is identified, consciously question its validity with logic and evidence. This is a core component of cognitive restructuring, a technique used in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Embrace a growth mindset. Actively acknowledge that you can improve your abilities and character through dedication and hard work. Your mindset is not a fixed trait, but a mental construct you can change. Practice mindfulness. Develop the ability to observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This helps you recognize negative or limiting thought patterns and choose not to engage with them, creating space for more intentional and positive thinking. Use positive affirmations. Use and repeat positive statements to reprogram your mind and build self-esteem. For instance, replace I can't do with I am capable of growth and improvement. Visualize your success. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes each day to vividly imagine your goals as if they have already been achieved. This practice primes your brain to work toward those goals and increases your motivation and confidence. Creating is the other one on the metaphysical laws. So we came from evolving now to creating, not surviving or struggling. This is different. We're not surviving here or struggling. This is creating. Consciousness and intention. Your thoughts, intentions, and desires are creative forces that actively shape your reality. This is particularly central to the law of intention and desire, creating. So let's dive deeper with the thought, intention, and action, dynamic action, right? Creating what is called the EMF, which is the electromagnetic field. So going forward, I'll say EMF instead of the whole thing. So the EMF, electromagnetic field, surrounds our bodies, right? And determines our state of being. And I'll explain that. We are constantly emitting light, our energies, emitting light, energy, and frequencies, which carry specific message, information, and intentions. So we are sending and then we are receiving, almost like upload and download, these electromagnetic energy. So our thoughts and intentions, which are electrical, right? Having an electrical charge creates a chemical reaction when combined with magnetic energy. That's the feelings and emotions from your intrinsic values. It has a negative charge. And the two, electric and magnetic, they merge together to form your EMF, your state of being. Your state of being comes from your EMF, the electric and magnetic energies that you have, that you radiate from thought and your actions, feelings and emotions. Now, the drive to learn and understand is an intrinsic and fundamental part of human nature, and in it, curiosity for life's sake. We were taught to act with limited insights, but deep within us, we are the mastery of the higher intelligence force, the chosen ones, a beam of light. But we forget that dance, that music that comes from within. And the light becomes dimmer and weaker, and soon we will forget who we are, that light, that EMF we are. But wait, I'm talking quantum physics and spirituality here, where we become aware of who we are, what we are, having the intention to recognize the divine source within us and our interaction with the EMF, to manifest our realities, to build a better version of ourselves with authenticity, discipline as conscious behavior, and consistency to better our lives here on earth. There are infinite versions of us. The question is, which version of you are you tuning into? Your chosen frequency, is it one of static channel, stagnation, non-vibrational, and unauthentic? Or is it one that takes a good thought, just one step, one small dynamic action with identity, but not attached to it, to build awareness, and the universe will respond? Here are some words from Mr. Alan Watts. I rephrased it, of course. I use them to ask these questions. Are we living life here and now and not when we die or arriving somewhere else? Are we fully present with life? I'm talking about an actionless action, an effortless effort. With our relationship with life, the dance of life, fully engaged with the dance of life and not thinking of a purpose or a meaning of life, but rather being fully with who you are, moment by moment, with relationship to the universe, participative and creative in any way possible. Have you recognized a sudden shift, a sudden energy shift within you? A quiet space where chaos turns into clarity. No convincing of who you are or what you are, just genuinely being alone, where a creative energy arises from communion with a deeper part of yourself, with spirit, with source. We are spiritual beings encased in a shell, a housing, temporarily to learn, grow, and develop to full potential. We must elevate our consciousness where we see creation, the divine energy as source, as the creator, the higher intelligence force of this verse and the multiverse. Here's the uncomfortable truth. I heard someone said the other day that you are the eye in which the creator sees the creator. So you are the observer with the awareness, pure awareness, a shift of the inner experience, the awakening of the deepest self during meditation, contemplation, a recognition of an authentic self, a living presence approaching all activities fully present, a transformation when awareness, consciousness arises and the divine source moving through you, moving through us, to see the world different, dissolve of a false identity, seeing the truth, the illusion in it all, the hidden lies, to see beauty in everything, a quiet center that fulfills our soul. An internal harmony where thought, feelings, and emotions, all energies, are aligned and coherent, building a unified field of energy, pure presence, essence, a peace generated effortlessly, a release of effort, and allowing life to unfold, a trust in the process, where all internal conflicts are resolved, and you, with your aura, your EMF, radiates outward. Protect your energy and guard your focus. I'm a student of life. I was born into this role, an inner calling, an endeavor, building bridges between the unconscious and the conscious culture, while becoming a good student and trusting in the journey. There is a need to touch the unconscious, a vessel for the unspoken suffering people. And in the process of confronting unconscious biases and beliefs, I increase my self-awareness, practice mindfulness, where there is no past, no imagined future state, and embrace curiosity over consumption and stagnation. Everything in nature is in a state of flow, constant flux, arriving and passing, living and dying. Thoughts come and go. People come and go. People are changing and unfolding in this singular consciousness. Everything is in constant transformation. Everything is interdependent. Nothing happens by chance. I only see our resistance to change. And that is a problem and not change itself. We are subject to the laws of nature. And when we do submit or recognize these forces, these energies, we receive the insight of abundance of our true nature. It's like coming home, which is the enlightenment, a remembrance of who we are. Now, Carl Jung says, it's been rephrased, until you make the unconscious conscious. Of course, not entirely, but reducing unconscious repetition, bringing to light suppressed emotions, unacknowledged desires, hidden potential, includes everything you're willing to admit. You are living in low frequencies. You will experience inner chaos. Keep repeating old patterns, having negative thoughts like I'm not good enough. Life is like this. Life is like that. There is nothing to do in life. It's my destiny. It's my fate. Why? Really? You have forgotten that within you, this unrecognized energy, that space between thoughts in meditation, unrecognized freedom, not to crave, not to possess, not to attach to things and people and success, identity, outcomes. There's another way of being, another way of living. Trust in the process. Explore the possibilities to fully engage with life and experience the freedom, the substance of your being. The universe is always yours because you are the universe and the universe is you. So stop the illusion of separation where you are separated from the universe and attaching to things to be secure. That's fear. For example, rationalization, reaction, regression. So these are the things that they do. They have this avoidance, unconscious defense mechanism where they refuse to accept, they block anything from coming in. They project that feelings and emotions onto others. Okay? They redirect that energy somewhere else. They find excuses. Okay? They're in opposition. They find avoidance. Okay? And they keep reverting back to the same thing. These are the defense mechanisms in place here. These low vibration, low frequencies, and mediocrities are inferior and superficial to our divine nature. In addition, these are automatic psychological strategies that people use to protect themselves from anxiety, stress, or emotional, uncomfortable thoughts and feelings. Okay? These are the unconscious defense mechanisms we are using. For example, people who are continuing to suffer from psychological trauma, past experiences of fear, unresolved childhood issues, you will not continue to direct your adult life behavior until you wake up, evolve from these negative energies by choosing a higher frequency and vibration. It's your choice. These energies can redirect in several beneficial ways. Let's look at them. Fix your mind upon a definite purpose or meaning in life. Only you can do that. I call it intentional living, not passive living, active living. A process to lead you to a greater self than what you are. Have an identity, not attached to it. Your values, intrinsic values, your vibration, movement, action, you manifest. I call it the zone of life where you are consciously creating, not struggling, not suffering, consciously creating. You need no permission to live, to explore, to recognize the freedom within you, the liberation within you. Take control of your thoughts. Practice mindfulness. Focus the attention on the present moment. No past, no future. Just be here now. No narrative or conceptual consciousness, but have presence, embodied consciousness. The nature of engagement with life changes, with possibilities. You're not trapped. You're responsive and not reactive. Repeat high affirmative vibrations. Okay? I have the strength to get through challenges, barriers, obstacles. I choose peace over worry. I am safe and secure. I am ready for today. I'm a magnet for attracting abundance. Perform meditation, exercise, practice healthy eating, tackle tasks in small steps, reward small wins, avoid low vibrations. This is where awareness comes in. Guard your mind of all these negative thoughts. Guard your focus. Who speaks in your head? Do you identify with yourself, with your voice? Or are you the one where all the voices arise? Are you making
good thoughts automatic? Are you practicing positive behaviors? The stories you are telling yourself, are they helping you or destroying you? Be imaginative, creative, innovative. Cultivate a mindset that pursues new ideas, solutions, and ways of seeing the world differently. Your perception, how you see yourself and the environment. Practice visualization, meditation, engage with nature. Practice mental discipline, consistency. No motivation is needed here. We need consistency, which is the practice of repeatedly taking deliberate, disciplined actions over time, building a track of consistent routines to strengthen your mental toughness, optimize your environment, and manage setbacks with compassion. Don't do anything that goes against your nature. Living in alignment with your true self, authentic self, no conflict with your core values, intrinsic values. Right now, we are going through a period of rapid evolution, change. The universe is unfolding, and we are part of it doing the same, the ultimate act of intelligence. It is. We are not separated from the universe. We are the universe. Having that profound feeling of self-realization and conscious awareness, an essence of truth, where you feel it in your bones. And it changes your perception after discovering who or what you are. We are stardust. The galactic codes is in our bones. We were built for evolution, to evolve, to adapt to a changing environment. Our bones are coded and buried with capabilities for survival. But today, we are more than that. I don't think we are here to just survive, to struggle. No, really? We must learn to see challenges, obstacles, and barriers as opportunities and stop fearing them, looking at it as a struggle or surviving. No, but rather embracing them as part of the evolutionary process of creativity. I see a widespread awakening where people are allowing the self to emerge to a profound realization to that individuation, a creative impulse which is necessary for imagination, rejuvenation, transformation, while building the psyche, energy, and inner strength. It's that inner surrender where we know we are at peace, aware of the illusion, while observing the quality of our thoughts, our words, our actions we display, the energies we radiate. Change can be a painful reality for some people, especially when the ego, that identity, attached with things, with form, takes priority, and if change doesn't come automatically, the divine intelligence will visit you, meaning life will hit you hard and knock you out, or knock out that ego from you, and you will be forced to grow, to change to essence, which is an evolutionary impulse in you. My friends, this is a gentle guide, knowing that this journey is about you coming home, coming back to self, to essence, knowing who you are, and remembering that you have everything and everything's within you. It starts with an awareness, a consciousness, turning into a frequency of energies to integrate with your environment and to walk your path with the divine intelligence. The divine force is a frequency. So tune in, tap into that true power, that inner space, the energy of source. This is not hypothetical God. This is an energy that's part of our consciousness. It's within you and all around you. Life is endless, full of potential. There is an intelligence force built into our world, and we cannot ignore it. Each one is an expression of the universe, and the universe is an expression of you. We are constantly changing, observing, constantly moving. With changing experiences unfolding, life situation will unfold in time. The past situation brought you here. Don't get absorbed by life situations. It changes. Temporarily, you are unmoved by the chaos in the world. You keep walking, keep trusting. You are dynamic and not static, not stagnant. So it starts with a vibration, then a movement, Then it takes courage with dynamic action to recognize your freedom, your destiny. Your true nature is peace, oneness with it all, unaffected with identity. So we must awaken the power in us. See my podcast on dormant forces coming alive. The power within you. The uninhabited energy, unrecognized energy. Our faculties, especially intuition, a divine guided current, dynamic in nature, refuels the soul with a sense of knowing, trust, quiet presence, and freedom. It is a spirit you resonated with since in the womb, where you were divinely guided. A sense of trust in the knowing. It's a knowing without logic, a knowing without proof, a knowing without words, facing the truth, having clarity to see the illusion, the intrinsic values within you, to walk in truth. The limiting beliefs are keeping us from transcending perceived limitation. We, the people, have the power and need to be aware of our human divinity. Stop being ignorant, meaning not educating yourself. That's one reason for this podcast. To realize that we have the power within us to make a change for self. Collectively, everything is constantly moving. We are continually creating ourselves, transforming energies in different forms in a sea of infinite energies. I encourage you to tap into the feel and feel the electric dance within you, the eternal presence. You are the conduit for a creative energy of the universe, a sacred circuit, creating a bridge to transform from matter to consciousness. And the sacred intelligence is recognized when you are centered in your own being. You are at peace, joy, wholeheartedness, wholeness, rooted in the center. These are effortless action. Once you are aligned and coherent with mind and body and soul, having clarity to recognize your freedom and true creativity, gaining courage to face your shadow, that old self, and the unconscious behaviors. It's important to realize or recognize we are living in an energetic electrical living organism where we are using vibration and thought like a symphony to interact as a dance with the field, the EMF, which shape our realities, and in essence, we are co-creators of reality itself. Modern science, humans are cells of consciousness. This is the name of my podcast, Cells of Consciousness. With intelligence built into each cell, which is information technology embedded in our DNA, in our cells, in our neurons. These are energy of fields, vibration, like the heart and the brain producing electricity. Your brain is a living example of a galaxy of signals. Take, for example, the cerebrospinal fluid. The spinal cord is bathed in a cerebrospinal fluid, which serves as an electrical conductor and helps transmit information. Some theorists also suggest that this fluid may act as a channel for signals from the environment. Shouting out to Greg Brandon for the insight to put this paragraph together. Also shouting out to ancestors for the positive vibes. Modern science says we are communicating with one another in the intelligence field, the quantum field. We have biological antennas, mechanism built in our skin, in our hair, our cells, spinal cord, that send and receive signals, information in connection with the divine field. Man is constantly evolving, changing from time to time. Man is curious with life and in a changing environment. Our ability to adapt to environmental stresses and to build behavioral buffers to cope with these stresses are natural and inherent to our nature. Let's look at some behavioral buffers in humans to cope with environmental stresses. Physical stresses, air pollution, water contamination, noise, extreme temperatures, disasters, adaptation to long-term climate and change remains unknown. You have chemical stresses, heavy metals, pesticide, toxins, pollutants. You have biological stresses, infectious disease, allergens, parasites. You have social stresses, poverty and economic inequality, lack of access to healthcare, violence, social isolation. You have other stressors, industrial waste, traffic congestion, lack of green space. You have cultural differences and stresses in people, obstacles, roadblocks, barriers, preferences, norms. Be mindful of fears, negative energy vibes, emitting low frequencies, including limitation, lack, confusion, conflict, noise, competition, circumstances, worry, and other fleeting emotions. Just be mindful of those fears. The biggest environmental stressor is the tech culture. This culture is the new norm, influencing our lives in different ways, in creative ways as well as unpleasant ways. So culture and technology are the big players in the evolution process in respect to change in the environment. Now we have the introduction of AI, chips insertion in the skin, in the brain. We have AI generated actors and actresses. I mean, it's crazy. So we are going through a tech cultural adaptation for survival. Survival for what? Well, to protect our creativity, our divinity, our humanness, where we are having to adapt to these new achievements, these tech stuffs that introducing us. Human achievements, yes, I acknowledge that. But how much change can we endure? How much change can we entertain? How far are we willing to go? Having RFID chips inserted in your skin? Last month, I listened to a podcast with a few folks, and Greg Brandon was on the show, and these are some of the questions they were asking. I paraphrase here. The questions are these changes, these tech changes, bringing out the best in us or for the good of the collective? Do you think this new tech culture can allow you to become the best version of yourself? Let me repeat this. This new tech culture that we have, do you think with this new tech culture, it will allow you to become the best version of yourself? That's one of the questions they had on the podcast, on the show. I don't think so. I'm unsure. The other question is, are we going to get rid of our natural world, our natural environment, biological world, and adapt a technological world, a digital world, robotics, with no humanness? That's another question for you. So this is the long side, and I'm paraphrasing here. I think if we give up and go all in, right, there will be a disconnection with the divine field, a quantum disconnection where there might be a problem accessing information. And in addition to losing our humanness, our authenticity. But if we set limits, then we might have a chance to retain our faculties and intrinsic values. However, we can adapt efficiently to different or changing environments from since time. Humans continue to evolve despite cultural and behavioral buffers against environmental stress. Behavioral buffers are active strategies used by organisms to mitigate the negative effects of environmental stress. Organisms use behavioral modifications to promote resilience and survival. These strategies are seen across a wide range of species, including animals, plants, and of course, humans. For example, animals move from one location to another to escape harsh conditions, find food, or reproduce. The wildebeest, they migrate during the dry season to find greener pastures. Here are some examples of behavioral buffers in humans. Humans use a combination of cognitive, relational, and physical strategies to cope with stress, including stresses from the environment. We have cognitive and psychological strategies, mindfulness and meditation. Focusing attention on the present moment can reduce anxiety and stress. Being a conscious person, awareness, practice mindfulness, living in the present, a way of living, experiencing life with full presence, observing things and not getting caught up in them or swept away, seeing beauty in everything. Life is not in the past or in the future, but it's here and now, living with truth, with clarity, and being an authentic person. We rise with meditation. We see through the illusion. It's about recognizing our freedom and liberation. Cultivating resilience, a positive attitude and belief in one's ability to overcome challenges can mitigate the impact of stress. using your faculties, your willpower.
Limiting media exposure, we've talked about this. Taking breaks from news and social media can prevent becoming overwhelmed by negative information, including environmental concerns. Behavioral buffers in humans. Let's look at the social support strategy. Relying on friends and family provide emotional support and buffers against stress. Communicating, engaging with one another, the community, wholeheartedness, togetherness, love, compassion, empathy. Become the best version of yourself. Maintain your psych growth, but not entangled in the unconscious version of you. Community involvement is another strategy. Acting with environmental groups can reduce feelings of helplessness and increase a sense of urgency. Be wise in selective engagement. There are others who will drain your energies. Have selective visibility. Watch your participation in surface entertainment. Unconscious behaviors. Staying together. It's a collective evolution, a collective changes, a cultural innovatory laboratory to solve nothing but to recognize the divine source is within you, the freedom to become the best version of yourself. Guard your energy, guard your time. Watch the re-engagement of repeated patterns, your endless availability. These codependence designed to pull you back or lose identity. They say you're selfish, but you're looking for genuine connection, not just surface entertainment. Now let's talk about staying home. That's one of my strategies. My behavioral buffers is staying home. And I'll tell you why. Staying home, not isolation, that's different. Not introvert or desertion from self or family. It's not that. But it's for true creativity. Staying home is for true creativity. Creativity is an act of love, dancing with life. Love for yourself, for others, for the environment, and for everything in the universe. Love is a state of unity, inclusion, no separation, no competition, no exclusion. You have forgotten who you are. You are stardust with infinite wisdom residing in you. You are perfectly equipped for this life to evolve. You are in the process of rewiring and firing new thoughts and interaction with the field, which is an energetic action, EMF. Movement, action, destiny, recenter, align, coherent, having clarity so you can see the truth. You do not abandon yourself. Be selfish with your energies. Start living, change your life. Become a new man, a new woman, engaging in passionate projects, creating a space to hold what benefits you. Working your craft, your skill, becoming wholehearted, compassionate, and regain your clarity. It's selective choosing for living true in harmony with your essence. That's when you get the downloads, the consciousness, the awareness of choices we make in life for the better, not the worse. Some say this is what happens when you stay home in quiet, in solitude. It's called the Kundalini awakening. You may have heard of that already. Some say it has to do with your emotional intelligence. It's a spiritual transformation experience where energy surges from the base of the spine, the root chakras, and grows up to the spine, to the crown chakra, unblocking and unlocking higher states of consciousness. Emotional intelligence is awakened, rather. It's the rising of the divine energy, the light within you. It's the rise of your true nature, a vessel of light. It is said that you must destroy the old self to create a new self. And when you do, you experience source, essence, moving through you. So that's the Kundalini awakening. I find it necessary protecting my psyche energy from draining by superficial interaction and surface entertainment of the external life. Therefore, I shift my vibration to match my essence to more conscious participation without the contamination. There are inherent fears, beliefs, unconscious behaviors, different principles, and energetic dead foods. I find it necessary to practice selective engagement for the continuation of receiving energetic information, which is therapeutic for my energy, for my essence, for my spirit. I do not want to go back to a dated version of me. I prefer to protect my frequency because it's sacred. Solitude is creative ground. We must recognize the energy within us, recognize the power within us, most of all, recognize the freedom and the liberation within us, we must go within to connect with strength and wisdom. Remember, we are one with Source. We must strengthen our relationship with self, restore balance, imagination flows, and our soul begin to ask questions. What is the quality of my life? For me, spending time in nature is a must. Spending time in green spaces and natural environment has a calming effect and promotes relaxation. We cannot accurately predict the environmental stresses. These are external activities beyond our control that we will face, which creates suffering, anxiety, stress, and many more, sickness, disease. We cannot predict the unknown. We can prepare, plan, but we are still unsure. However, we must accept the things we cannot change and have the courage to change what we can. We must enter the unknown with certainty, because with certainty came your birth. From the unknown to the known. Everything came from nothing, then to something, then back to nothing. So we came from the unknown. The relative importance of quantum physics in shaping our thinking about the nature of the universe and man's place in it might be weak at present, but it has the potential to become stronger in the future when everyone rises in consciousness, in awareness, to realize their powers are within themselves. The capacity for change is rooted in our nature in several interconnected ways. For example, neuroplasticity, personal growth, continuous growing, learning, and developing. The human brain can adapt and form new connections throughout life in response to new experiences and choices. Cellular plasticity is a tissue regeneration and repair. Yes, damaged cells can repair themselves. Cells can alter their identities to replace damaged or lost tissue. Then you have genetic plasticity. Genetic plasticity is the ability of a single genotype, a set of genes, to produce different phenotypes, observable traits, in response to varying environmental conditions. This adaptability shows organisms to survive in diverse or changing environments without requiring a permanent genetic mutation, an irreversible change to the DNA sequence of an organism. Now we have epigenetics, which explains how human behaviors and the environment experiences can affect gene activity without affecting the DNA sequence. Influence health in many ways: lifestyle, diet, stress, exposure to toxins, etc. We get information from the field in the form of wave, light, electron. Our DNA, our cells and neurons, our heart is a field of energy, our brain as well, our skin here. These are all designed for receiving and sending information in the intelligence field, the quantum field, the divine field. Our biological antenna sends signals, picking up information in the field. Now, is it possible to lose the ability to connect with the field? Yes, it is. If you are negative, unaligned, unbalanced, incoherent, incorporating, unauthentic, incorporating all the tech stuff in your life, unnatural world, be mindful of low energies, which will drain your energies. It's in our nature. Lifelong learning. Humans are designed to be lifelong learners, constantly acquiring new knowledge, new skills. Each day, a new you, a new thought, a new experience. Overcoming barriers, obstacles, challenges, unlocking your full potential, unfolding your inner intrinsic values, building resilience, navigating challenges, and emotional strength, emotional intelligence, which improves mental well-being. Personal fulfillment and well-being. Learning contributes to personal growth, fostering a sense of purpose and fulfillment by enabling individuals to realize their potential and achieve goals, objectives, and desires. Manifestation is a must. Enhancing career prospects and professional development. Once you start working on yourself, everything changes. Your outer world changes. Your income changes. Continuous learning is crucial for career development and professional development, leading to a greater job security and creating new opportunities. Stimulating curiosity and passion about life, using our intrinsic motivators, our intrinsic values for continuous learning ignites curiosity and passion, encouraging exploration and the pursuit of interests, skills, craft, passion, music, writing, poetry, etc. Activating the dormant forces from within,
your intrinsic values, motivators, the desire for self-improvement and personal satisfaction, togetherness, wholeness, wholeheartedness, compassion, cultivating a growth mindset, viewing challenges and barriers and obstacles as opportunities where doors are opening that was once shut, for learning, fostering a growth mindset, leading to greater resilience, adaptability, and the ability to learn from mistakes, learn from the past experiences, using our memory, our faculties. Biological adaptability. Be like water. Be fluid. Be flexible. Be open-minded. Don't be ignorant. Adjust to new situations, events, challenges, especially in today's challenging world, which is filled with uncertainties. Embracing adaptability. Embracing change rather than resisting it. Go with the grain of the wood. Go with the flow of life. Find meaning in change. You must embrace change, encourage change. Change can prompt self-reflection and re-evaluation, leading to a deeper sense of meaning and purpose by aligning life with one's authentic self, becoming who you want to be. No more trying. You are it. At the right time, there is no more becoming it. You are it. You have become it. Will you make the choice to live a proactive, dynamic life and not a passive life? Will you recognize that the universe is expressing itself through you and it gives you what you are, not what you want? And when you recognize that liberation, that freedom, your energy will transform. Humans are not meant to remain stagnant, immobile, non-movement, non-vibrational, no action, no destiny, living in chaos, trying to reach somewhere in search of the good life, chasing and competing. We are wired to vibrate, to move, to act, to get to destiny, an inner reconstruction of returning to self, returning home, likewise truly living and evolving throughout life. One thing for certainty is that change is constant throughout our life. And the quantum field, the energy field, the intelligence source is real. So interacting with the field is mandatory, where there is no separation, no division, but conducive for learning, growing, and developing, which will shape our existence, our experience, and individual lives in meaningful ways. Life is a miracle, so let's utilize our energies to resurrect our faculties and intrinsic values to maximize focus and attention. A powerhouse to become your best version. It's an upliftment to mankind. I thank you for listening to Source of Consciousness, your host, Jeff Austri. See you next time. Peace.